In this cottage at Beverly Hills near Sydney, John Braund is treating upwards of 30 people a day. John Braund, 78 years of age, is a private citizen with no medical training. Yet he is able to produce many patients who claim emphatically that they have been cured of cancer. So far, there has been no official investigation, and to some extent, Mr. Braund must take some of the responsibility for that, because he has rejected a committee nominated by the government and which would have included some of his own nominees. The public, appalled at the ever-increasing toll of the scourge, wants the fullest official investigation of Braund's treatment, even if that means giving away in some degree to the whims of an old man, whom many might consider difficult at times. If John Braund can cure only some forms of cancer, then no stone must be left unturned to give him the recognition he deserves and persuade him to make his methods available to suffering humanity. This newsreel does not seek to plead Braund's cause. It presents the facts as it finds them, but it does insist in the public interest that Braund's claims be officially proved or disproved, and without any further evasion of the issue on either side. Mr. Braund claims that the primary cause of cancer is a blockage in the bloodstream. The first step consists in detoxicating the blood as far as possible and ensuring adequate blood circulation, especially in the minute capillaries. Some patients under treatment cover their faces for the obvious reason that at this stage they do not desire publicity for their condition. Braund's method insists that the blood be swept away from the heart and not to it. The second stage is the injection into the tumor or growth of a liquid, the chemical makeup of which is known only to Braund. After a lapse of 10 to 20 days, the tumor, now dead and shrunk to a quarter its normal size, may be easily removed. Later, you will see the removal of a growth, but in the meantime, here is John Braund himself.
During the past few weeks, there has been a lot of publicity about cancer cure, so I can state it there. I have been treating malignant growths for 20 years. I took one case before the Cancer Research Board in 1933. The professor, who was chairman of the board, said, "You are treating these just like glorified boils." And he said, "That's all they are." He asked me then how many more I had or was doing. I said 6, but I had 8. They promised to come next morning, and I've not seen them yet, and that's 14 years ago. I've challenged them here a few weeks ago to provide a certain number of patients certified to by them as cancerous growths, but they'd have to be approved by me to say that they would have cancer, and if I said they had cancer, I'd be satisfied, and I would take them and cure them, providing that they didn't look at the patients during the time, from the time that I started till the time that I finished. Then I'd hand them over. I have cured many, many people, but particularly 318. Those were all malignant growths. I would like the cameramen to interview some of those that I have done, and they can see for themselves whether it has been a malignant growth or not.
The first patient is Mrs. Jackson of Lakemba, who had a very large breast tumour removed about a week ago. Dr. Brose says the wound is healing rapidly and her general condition is good.
I am one of Mr. Braund's patients, and I feel since Mr. Braund has removed the growth that I had, that I have a new lease of life. I had ray treatments for the growth, under which I made no progress at all. After I'd finished my treatments, the wound was 3 by 4 easily still, and I was feeling so ill in myself, and so sickly and run down, that I really think that by now I just wouldn't be here at all. I'm quite sure of it, in fact. I'd like to say here and now that Mr. Braund is a very remarkable man. He removed my growth in a manner that's really amazing. Without anaesthetic, without bleeding, without knife, and without pain, which I consider no doctor could possibly do.
And now a man who had a cancer removed from his face by surgeons some years ago, but another grew.
My name is Austin Reddicks. I am a justice of the peace. For the last 3 years, I have been under specialist treatment for cancer. In October 1946, I had glands removed. I was advised to call and see Mr. Braund, and he assured me that he could cure me of cancer without the use of the knife. And I am very pleased to say that he has done so. And it's to be hoped the world will benefit by his remarkable discovery.
To find the answer to the published statement that long-standing cures cannot be found, Cinesound went to Braund, New South Wales, and interviewed Messrs. Bert Higgins and Arthur Davis.
My name is Bert Higgins of 442 Bong Bong Street, Barrow. Some years ago I was informed I was suffering with cancer. I felt quite confident myself that was correct, owing to the gnawing pains that I suffered in my stomach, pains in the side and on my spine. I was fortunate enough to meet Mr. Braund, who diagnosed my case as cancer. He took the growth from my back. That's just 4 years ago. And since then, I've had no recurrence of the trouble whatsoever.
My name is Arthur George Davis. About 15 years ago, I had a very bad ear and was diagnosed as very bad cancer. And the local doctor sent me down to a specialist in Sydney of eye standing, and he treated me with radium, but it appeared to be cured then, but it came back again. And then it got very bad, and I went to the local doctor again, and he sent me down to another specialist, and the specialist said that for diatherma treatment. But the man said it was that far gone, he couldn't treat me with that, and he sent me to a surgeon. And the surgeon said that I'd have to have my face practically cut off. I was advised to go to Mr. Braund, and from the very start he said it was a very bad cancer, but he said he could cure it, and he guaranteed. He took a weight off my mind. And that's roughly that is 2.5 years ago, and I've had no reoccurrence of the complaint since.
Mr. Gifford of Melbourne had cancer of the liver. Mr. Braund states his treatment has brought the growth to the surface, and he is extracting it without anaesthetic or pain to Mr. Gifford, who 3 weeks ago could not bear the slightest touch to his stomach. Whether what Mr. Braund has extracted from Mr. Gifford is a malignant growth or not, our 4 observers are obviously not competent to say, but if it isn't a growth, what is it? Minutes after the operation, Mr. Gifford walked briskly from the surgery, apparently no more affected than if he'd lost a loose tooth.
Some time ago, about the 17th of November, I had a stomach trouble diagnosed by a leading Melbourne surgeon as cancer of the liver. It was a recurrence. I'd had a cancer removed from the lower bowel 4 years ago. 3 minutes ago I had the cancer removed by Mr. Braund. Here it is in this bottle. During the time that Mr. Braund was treating me, I was not confined to bed. I was able to get about quite well, and I think I put on a little weight. That is, before the cancer was removed. I feel fairly well today, quite well able to go about, and I think, well, Mr. Braund tells me I'll be quite all right in 3 weeks' time.
Here is the opinion of a cancer authority with a world reputation. Dr. Henry L. Brose, Doctor of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, formerly Professor of Physics at the University of Nottingham, England, and an elected member of the Imperial Cancer Research Committee.
I've been watching Mr. Braund's work for nearly 4 years, and I know too much about cancer to have any doubts about his being able to cure at least some forms of it. One factor must be remembered. Mr. Braund is not a young man and is inclined to be difficult, but that does not alter the fact that he seems to have some cure for malignancy. I'm sure that when the time arrives, that he will make his formula known for the benefit of humanity and earn the gratitude of cancer sufferers throughout the world. I feel that he is not out at all after monetary gain. He is anxious to secure recognition for his work and is not concerned with any other purpose whatsoever. As a final thought, it is not impossible that a layman should discover a cure for a scourge which has baffled the world's greatest scientists. It is well to remember that some of the world's greatest discoveries have been simple things made by simple men.
Despite the evidence you've just seen and heard, Cinesand urges the public, and afflicted people in particular, not to raise too much hope until the Braund method has been proved beyond all doubt. This proof, which science demands, is not yet forthcoming. But this company believes that it has taken a longer step towards discovering the truth than any other party interested in the Braund controversy. It has had a positively certified case under Mr. Braund for the last 4 weeks. The facts of this will be laid before you in the next issue, as space does not permit it in this. This is Peter Bathurst, leaving you to think over what you've just seen and heard, and expressing the hope, in the name of suffering humanity, that a cure for cancer may have been discovered. And this, I am sure, is a hope that every human being will subscribe to.